Okay, gonna run through a family here of VanEck Vectors. Let's run through those real quick here. Daily charts. This is a gold one here. Basically just stair stepping lower. Like I said, I was looking for something, some sort of bounce up in here to get to be able to get folks into dust, since the miners and that are heading lower for right now. Not much in regards to the unbalanced volume of a washout yet, so there's still more to go on the downside. The hook here is the average trading range that widened when prices fell. Like I said, I'm looking for something where it's gold. 120, 1226. 1220 is the, we'll say it's down here. Anything below that, then these will continue to fall lower. You can see the unbalanced volume peaking up in here. We haven't had a trough really until down around 12 bucks. So eventually it'll roll over and continue down. I did post a chart today of XAU, and the original buy was under 40, and I was aiming for 120, but I went back to try and keep things neutral in regards to history. Follow me on this one here. Is if they we spin some sort of, we do have inflation, which naturally we would right after prices fall as far as they can. That's pretty much the end of inflation, and wages are rising. It's just how it goes, right? If that spins for inflationary, you may get a continuation of gold, but by then, of course, everyone else will be running around somewhere else. If you go back to 1987, were you trading gold at the time? That kind of thing. 2005, we all got hung up in real estate, and then metals, and that finally peaked in 2011. So even though there may be gold goes up a little bit every week, that kind of thing, that the interest would be somewhere else. But I gave it, just seeing what happened in history past after that index, XAU index, tripled. That's not bad for the year, huh? So for right now, I'm looking for something here just to clean out the dust and JDST so folks can get into it. But eventually, though, wherever gold, may fall, the halfback kind of thing. I'm not leaning that we're in a secular bull back in metals and stuff, but if we have a spin on that, it may move up. Gold and silver, precious metals may move higher, but muted per se to the flash in the pans somewhere else that people are chasing. And this one's GDX here. The junior, same type of thing. I was looking for some sort of bounce this way, kind of the same thing, down, half back, down, half back kind of thing, for resumption of the dollar higher. Oh, what are we at the dollar tonight? 100.40 for right now, but that's kind of quiet. All right, junior's basically the same thing. You're looking to sell the rally, basically. And then just use the cloud as resistance. Russia, basically on the breaks here, you did get some money coming out of it. For me, it's energy related and also economic too. They're coming out of a recession. Recent data wasn't as bad. It wasn't as worse as the worst kind of thing they were looking at. oil services, noticing this a little bit more. As you can see, not much in regards to people getting into it. So we'll see how oil behaves over the next few days here, where we're at Thursday, Friday, till going into next week. What do I have for oil for right now? $46 on the oil for right now. But I did notice, though, that I threw a few out that I scanned today that half were above the cloud, some were below it. For right now, this, with it failing to make a new low and making somewhat of a higher high, go along with the swing for right now, since there isn't anybody in there. But I would assume, though, that if oil continues up, these continue higher, they'll eventually roll back over, and in this case, take out 26. All right, local currency bond fund rolling over. Any bounce you'd want to short this year. Semiconductors. Okay, so we're getting basically half back here on the sideways action. Watch for a jab breakout and a failure here. Semiconductors, economic expansion, that kind of thing. This was the last oversold area, and this was the high at 70. So we're approaching it again. Just be cautious that it doesn't poke through and then roll back over. High yield municipal, it's out to the basic, same thing again. You can see, though, that the yield is picking up here. So on the bounce, any comes through, you're going to get people who are interested on collecting the yield and avoid the capital gains loss that may be found in other products. But they're just basically, now they're, even though obviously there's capital gains loss here, at some point, of course, there will be a bottom, but it might be 2 years away. The same thing here. Intermediate municipals, same thing. Not as much as the yield, but basically it's, like I said, as people are going to gravitate towards it, especially if they're having issues with capital gains losses, like in utility index, that kind of thing. You can see a lot of volume here. Okay, this is volume at the price level on coal. There was a spike up in here. Folks got stuck there. Now we're beginning to roll over. Looks like I'm going to say around 10.25 for here. Resistance will be the pivot. For right now is how I look at it. Vietnam fund rolling over. There's going to be a lot of issues with emerging markets per se, and you can see that it's getting into the oversold area. Another swing lower should do the trick, possibly double bottom down in here. 4% yield, that's interesting. Preferreds, we've seen that kind of roll over and hit the skids. Same thing, preferreds, a combination of like a yield that then turns into an equity. Read your prospectuses. Basically, that lost half of its unbalanced volume in a bounce and then head lower here. We're just getting started here on the interest rate cycle. For obvious, you know how markets start off with like a 30% rise, then they go to a 45% rise, and then 70% rise, and at the end it's like a 91% rise. Same type of deal here. Gradually start, and then the decline, and that's to me is the scary thing, is how the descent, how quickly the descent is. Definitely making a statement there on the downside. Fallen Angel high yield, same type deal. What do we have for yield? 544. Don't know much about this one here, but even with the pullback, you can see them that they're still holding on. Steel on here, economic expansion. We're getting a little frothy up in here on unbalanced volume. If long options, yeah, if long, do like call writing, and then any swing higher, call right in, and then I'd buy some protective puts because of the amount of people that are involved here. You can see down here the red line. No one was interested down here, but now they're interested up here. That said mayhem. All right. Emerging markets, high yield, same thing. The higher rates are going to affect growing, U.S., the central bank to the world, that kind of deal. So we're just trying to tone things down going forward. Moat, Morningstar wide moat. I can't remember what that was. I did read up about it. Bodies are in there though. Same thing again. Options, no options. Volume, lousy. I'm not sure what it is, but not much. The bodies are in there right now. Russia small cap. Volatility. When volatility picks up, you have a trend change. This is where the greed would come into the small caps. Just be cautious here if you're long. Use the cloud as support. And here's pivot for December. Yeah, here's a day where it opened at the high and reversed. So be careful here. What are we doing on oil again? Okay, 46. ATM free short municipal. Okay, well, that's not really working here. I'm not sure what it is, but it's obviously going down. We did get a washout here. So this one's kind of telling of a bounce here, SMB. Municipal bonds, same thing again. It's pretty ugly, and it's just the beginning. India small cap, talked about India. It had been quite frothy. This is, what do we have, 49 to 40. That's a pretty good move in the month of November. So far this month, that's a pretty good drop. Any bounce here, I'd look to be, on the short side of things, only 70,000 though. It's at SCIF. I remember that one. Should save this one. Whoops. Alrighty. Biotech. Bodies are back into this thing. There's a big chase here, so that would be BBH. So I would save your powder though. If it sticks its nose over the 120 area, I'd whack it there, whack-a-mole kind of thing. Just due to the fact of how quickly it moved. This, the same thing for a swing through here, but I don't see much more going after it. So just like I said, up in this area, the next swing higher, I'd start getting defensive on it. It does have options, so you can sell calls and then buy some puts. Municipal, same thing on the bounce. It's a short. See, yield is up here though, so one more swing lower, you're going to get people who are interested and would take the 5-6% a year, depending upon where it's. Of course, as long as municipalities have money. Pharmaceuticals, same thing again. Boy, this is just They didn't want anything to do with it here. Kind of thin though. Look at that. See, big moves like this. This is a one-day deal. One day and it's reversed. Weak, weak, weak. What do we have? Indonesia fund. Same thing, Vietnam. The growing one. It is oversold here, so we're flipping for quarters though. Income fund. That's kind of interesting here. We got 9%. All right. The caution here is the drop, percentage-wise. Yeah, be careful here. BDC. What is BDC? And floating rate. Yeah. Chop, 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 chop. Pause. Egypt fund. Yeah. Wide slide on that one and bounce. Bodies came out of it. Maybe if you want to get like an ABC wave possibly here. Support a pullback here on Egypt, but I just looked at it as 15% over a week or whatever. That's more than enough. Same thing here. This is where we've started something here. Unconventional oil and gas. All right, thin. Kind of stall the interest. The people they're coming in here at the. Watch the upper end here for a failure and a reversal here. REITs, bounce on, what do we have? Mortgage REITs. Okay, so it's still hanging in there. Doesn't have the pointy frothiness. Do we have a peak up here? Yeah, we have a peak up here before the hard slide. This would be kind of nice to watch down the road for the real estate peak. Yield 8.3. Mortgage REIT income. Yeah, this will be one to kind of watch here. So I was looking for bouncing rates here with the bouncing debt. This one didn't really give up anything here. I wonder what they have. Read the prospectus, Kev. This one just looks pretty sick here. There was the high and a lot of sideways. Just basically boring people to death. Okay. All right, next page. Agribusiness move. Agribusiness. Okay, up in here. Watch for a poke through to the upside and a failure here. What do we have? Okay, so this is a bounce in the eggs here. So yes, be careful of a double top up here and roll over. We are getting a bounce in cows, in livestock. I'm not sure how much agribusiness there is here in regards to grains and oil seeds. Brazil, BRF, basically any bounce in it, it'd be a short to roll over, 20,000 though. Rare earth strategic metals. Nobody's in this one on the bounce. It is thin though. Possibility of pulling out the rare stuff again. We played that game once before. Even though, you know, I could talk about mechanical, it's down here. It's worth the push. It's worth a story. You know what I'm saying here. Yeah, a lot of volume and reversed from there. I think maybe a story is coming up. Remix. Retail. Okay, so we're getting a retail bounce. I looked at like Macy's and a few others that I kind of got defensive on them. Looked kind of defensive here. The retail, obviously, you know, it's going into the holiday season, but that's the same thing like betting on natural gas after October. You know, betting on the heating season. I'd say, I'd do the whole, just be cautious on this here. Or maybe it won't develop. We could possibly have a larger, shoulder head shoulder situation here. So China, same thing, just kind of sideways to dead. They won't get out of it either. 12,000's all right. High fund, 10,000 again. Yeah, rolling over. Yeah, we're gonna run into some issues here on. I don't know how well equities are going to handle a big swoon in interest rate products. IMLP, blah 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 blah, 7.5%. Well, that'd be interesting. Another swing lower possibly here. Since they've kind of never really got excited on it. High income, same thing, 14%. See, these things are going to be it's interested on, and you know what? And then for like these here, you put down some sort of silly number, 21. Good till cancel 21. Where are we at here? What's this one? That's 21 and a half. Maybe 21 and a half, 19 and a half, 18 and a half, 17 and a half, that kind of thing, just in case you get some sort of hard sell-off. Well, then of course the things have to pay. The underlying Israel, maybe a swing up in here, but we're talking dimes. The Poland fund looks it's getting to be washed out here. Could work on a double bottom down here. Total return. Nobody's in it, just kind of boring them to death. Alternative energies rolling over too. That goes along with, I believe, probably the price of oil. Competitive oil, coal, that kind of thing. Africa, still up here. Bodies are still they're holding on even after the sell-off. So usually you have to pressure them to get them to come out. You can see the red down here is when they were oversold. Double short euro, huh? Well, that's a nice, decent product, right? You get a little bit of leverage, a little bit of gearing on there. Volume-wise? No. Oh, it's too bad. Gaming looks like it's rolling over here. Solar, that's really washed out. That would, if it was, it's a good read for me that it's let's see here. Options. We'll go and stir the waters a little bit here. We'll go long this thing for fun, though. Double long euro. Okay. 101. And coming to the end here. Renminbi. Look at that. Bodies are still holding on to this thing here. 100 shares. Oh, there's another page. Maybe it's only one. Moat. More moat. Well, there's nobody in it. Aggregate bond. Yep, selling. 4.5%. See, that's the thing. Is the hard sell-off. You're going to have to start thinking about coming on in because of the yield. Because even if equities continue to fall, at some point the demand for these bond products going to hold. Yeah, any type of, I'd switch over to like Dust and JDS, because here was the peak, and they still haven't cleaned them out yet. So I'd expect the low teens from here. So to lose another third, yeah, I'd have to say that GDX is going to lose another third here. And this one is probably going to be even worse. Yeah, close to half. because a lot of these little miners are going to go to zero. Okay, there you go.